Good evening from wherever you are seeing me live. Welcome on this particular live show. I'm Alok. As you might be knowing, I'm a high value client acquisition coach, and I'm here with a special topic today to discuss. And I'm damn sure this is gonna be a debatable topic I'm gonna cover today. So I'll be most humble to put my views and definitely would be looking towards your feedback, your views, your inputs on this topic. Here, I'm not to argue anything. There is something which is in my mind and I want to share with all of you. And the topic is skill versus knowledge. So, uh, why I told you this is a debatable topic, because there are a lot of things which are going in the market as of now, and I have come across certain things which has literally forced me to talk on this. So you are most welcome to comment and discuss. If you want to go live with me, definitely I'll invite you on the same. I'll be sharing a link and you can join my show right here, right now. So today I'm going to talk about, as I said, a debatable topic, which is skill versus knowledge. Which is important? Skill is important or knowledge is important? Or you need a combination of both? Or you only need skill, you don't need knowledge? So this is a topic which is talked about a lot of people, and people are literally glorifying the incompetencies. Now, why I'm saying glorifying incompetencies? Because in this online world, everybody is an influencer. Becoming an influencer is not a function of your knowledge or expertise. Becoming an influencer on social media or this online world is a number game. If you can somehow gain some followers, maybe 1k, 10k, 100k, you become a follower, you become an influencer, right? Now I'm trying to relate it with something which has been done earlier. What used to happen earlier? A person who has achieved something in their life after working for some good years, having skills, having experience, contributing to the world, contributing to the society, to the country, people used to know, people used to build their brands, and people used to appreciate them, and people used to take learnings from them. Now what's happening? Anybody, whether the person is a young guy, a 5-year kid, or a 15-year young guy, a girl, or a 50-year-old man, doesn't matter. It is now a function of number of people who are following you. You become an influencer. Now I am gonna ask you this question, because is it the number which is going to make you capable? Just by dancing, singing, or literally teaching something, you could become an influencer if you have not achieved or contributed to that extent. So this question always comes to the mind, like, whom to follow and who is a real influencer? So here comes the subject which I'm going to talk is skill versus knowledge. So how do you define skill and how do you define knowledge? There are people who have made a practice of glorifying incompetencies. I'm always talking about glorifying incompetencies. I'm not talking about that people are not capable, but it has become a trend now. You might be hearing that people are only talking about that I had these challenges in my life and I overcame, and I today I'm a successful person. Good, that person has definitely achieved something, that's why his or she is talking about that. But is this the only criteria of you becoming an influencer, or you the other people following you or respecting you? Respect is gained, and respect is gained by the knowledge. Yes, skills do matter a lot, and companies like Google, they are not focusing on your core educational qualification. Now don't compare and don't underestimate when I'm saying the knowledge versus the degrees. I'm talking about the knowledge and I'm talking about the skill. Degree is a system. The regular I would say the schooling system, or uh, the education system which is running, at least inside our country. What are we doing? We start from preschools, right? Then a normal school, we pass 10th, we do plus 2, do graduation, do masters, do research and everything. There is a sequence of learning, and by the sequence of learning we are gaining something. But if it is only limited to the degree and you are not having knowledge, it doesn't make any sense, right? There comes a set of people who talk about skill. Skill is utmost required. I told you, companies like Google, they are hiring people on the basis of skills. They're not actually giving importance to the certificates. But skill will come through knowledge. Now there is a confusion to the people where they are literally talking about knowledge as a part of their certificates in the degrees. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the actual knowledge which you get by learning something, spending some years of time learning a particular subject. May it be engineering, may it be uh, you know pharmacy, or you become a doctor, you become a lawyer, you become a chartered accountant, you become an engineer, you become anybody in this world. You spend time, right? And you gain that knowledge. With the knowledge, you again gain some skills, correct? And that is how you are going to proceed in your life. That is a part of our normal education system, which teaches us at different stages different uh, learnings. Actually, different subjects we are taught. Now, let's say my son, he's in class 9, and he talks about, like, papa, what's the fun learning this, let's say, quadratic equation, or let's say going forward he has seen the chapters in which calculus is being taught, integrations, differentiations, big theorems. What is the use of this in our practical lives? My life would be different, my career would be different. So my only answer is, the education system is meant to give you a holistic knowledge, and it opens up your mind to think bigger. It's not only the subject which you are learning, it's about the expansion of your thought process, which has been done by this normal education system. Yes, there are flaws. I'm not saying it is perfect. No education system or nothing is perfect in this world, right? But you should be literally, I would say, respect that education system, because that is giving you a holistic learning of how you can start thinking beyond your capacities, which is confined if you are only focusing on one skill. Now I'm coming back to the skill part. When it is a skill, let's say, day before I was approached by one of the guys, and he was saying that I'm a social media marketer. I asked him, how long you have been doing it? He said it's been 1 year, right? I said, what's your qualification? He answered me that I don't believe in qualification, I only believe in skills. Good. Your skill can help somebody in one particular thing, but in order to upgrade your skill, you also need to have that fundamental knowledge, right? If you don't have that fundamental knowledge, you cannot upgrade your skills. Or even if you upgrade without knowing other things, will fall flat maybe after some time. So I said that whenever I'll be needing your services, I'll come back to you. But the fact is, I'm not convinced, because I've not seen that person investing in that knowledge, right? Skill can be acquired and it is good, but that is a little percentage of the holistic growth which I might be looking at. This is my way of thinking. Now I'll give you certain examples. I always give this example to people. There are doctors in the hospitals, and there are assistant doctors also, or even I would say helpers in that sense, medical associates I can say, or we normally call compounders or something, right, who are assisting the doctor in a surgery. Now that assistant, he or she might be seeing that doctor doing surgery for long, right, for years and years, maybe 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. Now that helper, that assistant knows how to do a surgery, because he has seen it being done by the doctor multiple number of times. Now, if I ask you, if I tell you that that particular helper or assistant knows how to operate, would you be taking the services of that helper to get surgery done in your body? He has that skill because he has learned it by seeing, by observing, but he has not learned the fundamentals of surgery. Now it's your choice. Will you be able to take a decision if I give you a choice to get operated or get a surgery done in your body, or anybody whom you love, by that person who doesn't have that qualification, doesn't have that learning, but they have only that skill to operate, right? It's a question to be pondered over, right? Similarly, let's say I tell you to go to I tell you to send your your child to a swimming center, right? If the swimmer or the guard itself is not a good swimmer, he doesn't know what all to be taken care of when a person is sinking or somebody has inhaled water. He only knows to swim and take out the body. Will you be able to send your child to that particular swimming center to do that? Again, think about it. Now, there are multiple things like this which is required for you to ponder over, and that thing applies to the coaching business here as well. Now, I'll tell you, there are coaches, and I salute all the coaches who are literally devoting their time to help others to grow in their life, their businesses. Now, I'll ask you, if the coach has only one set of expertise, right, and with the expertise that person is able to help, but what happens if the basic fundamentals are not there inside that person? Basic learning is missing. How the person will upgrade, how that person will include the latest tools and technologies in the business if the fundamentals are not set? Correct. Now the choice is yours. Whom are you going to learn from? That is a question. You are going to spend money, you are going to spend time with any of the coaches, any of the things you are going to learn. But if you don't see that qualification, I'm talking about the knowledge, I'm not talking about the degree minded. And here, that is a concern which I always talk about. None of the coaches talk about their qualifications. I know it might be irrelevant to some extent, but you cannot ignore it. If I say that I'm an engineer, I have spent 4 years learning engineering subject, I have spent 2 years doing my full-time MBA, and if I say that I'm a digital marketer from a prestigious institutes like IT Delhi, I carry that weight. I know I have spent 7 years learning all those, and then I have inculcated the coaching skills by learning and practicing more and more and more. Then what happens? Now you can compare me with anybody else who is might be just a beginner, who has not done business, who has not gone through this grind. They have learned something from some sources, they're good at it, but it's only one part of the learning. And I always say that coaching is a holistic approach towards growth. It's not about learning one thing and just talking about one thing. I can talk about one thing, but I have multiple things in my mind which I have learned through my experiences, through my knowledge, through the practical things which I have literally gone through during my studies, during my practicals, during my life, during other stages of businesses. So I put that inside that learning, which I transfer to my mentees. Now, the point here is why this topic has been brought, because there are people who are glorifying the incompetencies. I'm always talking about glorifying incompetencies. I'm not saying you are incompetent in everything. I'm saying you might not have been a good student. That's okay. You might have been a backbencher. That's okay. But that doesn't mean you didn't have a skill. You had a skill. You didn't get good marks. That's okay. Marks is not a criteria to define your life, your career. But you should be respecting the knowledge part, because that knowledge is the fundamental. And through the knowledge only you gain skills. Those skills are going to help others. Now, if somebody says that I didn't study anything, but now today I'm successful. Yes, there are case studies. There are people who did not study good. Even Thomas Alva Edison, even Einstein, these kind of people, even good business people. You talk about the person who is heading Vedanta, Amit Agarwal or Anil Agarwal. Yes, Anil Agarwal. He's also, I think, a 10 plus 2 or a 10th pass guy, right? These people have built businesses worth millions and crores and crores. That doesn't mean they don't have a skill. They have the knowledge, actually. They have the practical knowledge. They don't have certificates. They don't have degrees, but they are capable to run that kind of a business, build that kind of a business. So the fundamental learning they have. So what I'm trying to tell you is, skill is a function of your fundamental learnings. I'm not talking about degrees again. So you cannot ignore the knowledge part behind the basic fundamental learnings, and then you add on with the skills. This is what my point is. So as I said, you could disagree with me, because people are glorifying, again I'm saying, people are glorifying their incompetencies, saying that I did not do well in my 10th, I did not do well in my graduation, I was like a failure. There are IS officers who were average in their studies during their school time and their college time. That's okay, but they gained knowledge. They gained some skills, and now they are becoming IS officers, IPS officers. They are taking that kind of a responsibilities, right? So you cannot say that knowledge is of no use. So my humble submission to all of you, whoever is listening this particular show, I'll request you to first of all evaluate the person whom you are going to learn from. It's not about the degrees, mind it. I'm talking about the real life knowledge which they have inculcated over a period of time, so that they can help you. And I have seen multiple cases like this where people have learned one part of the business and they have claimed that they have become coaches, and end of the day they have literally ruined their lives and the mentees life as well. So what you have to do is you need to first of all understand the basic knowledge which people have, see their qualifications. I'm not saying that qualifications might be exactly related to coaching, but anybody can become a coach, but that knowledge should be there, that learning should be there, the skill should be there, right? So your skill should be backed by the knowledge. Only skills is not going to help you for long. That's my point. And don't try to overestimate this incompetencies which people glorify all the time. I have seen people glorifying it. That's the concern which I wanted to highlight here. Don't be a prey to this glorification where people are selling hopes that okay, I did not study, but today I'm a millionaire. That's okay. You cannot accept the exception as a rule. There is always an exception, right? So believe in yourself, believe in your core fundamental learnings, then inculcate those skills which can help you create a business, which can create a USP for yourself, and then it is gonna work. So when I talk about knowledge and skills, the fundamental difference is learnings, right? Both the places you have learnings. Knowledge is also gained through learnings, skill is also gained through learning. So you cannot ignore any of the learnings. My point is you cannot ignore just by saying that okay, I did not study but today I'm successful. That doesn't mean everybody who is not studying is going to be successful. And see the numbers, see the data. See the data. Out of successful people, how many of them were learned or they had the basic education, and how many of them were not having basic education? If there are 10 people out of 10,000, you cannot make it a rule. What about the balance? 9,990 people, they all have learned, they have all spent some time learning some kind of a knowledge, and that is how they are earning their livelihoods. Correct? So I always talk in terms of facts and figures. I'm saying don't get lured or don't get attracted by the exceptions. Exceptions proves the rule. So the rule is you have to have a basic learning. That learning may be little or more, that's okay, and that learning should be backed by one of your skills, right? And then only that skill can help others grow, and you also keep on growing like that. So as I said, I'm open to take any questions or any feedback on the same, because I believe in knowledge, I believe in learning, and backed by that particular skill. Let's say I'm an engineer, I'm not putting my engineering skill here in my coaching because this entire subject is different. But when I was doing engineering, the 4 years where I learned a lot of other things except for the subject knowledge, that is where my mind opened, right? And that is what I am now implementing. I learned to learn, actually. I learned to implement. I learned to think beyond boundaries. I learned to, plan things ahead of times. These are the things which are not talked about, right? So when it is learning, it is all about all this. Correct? And when it is only about the skill, you can become a graphic designer, you can become a video editor by only working on one particular tool and doing a fantastic job. But that doesn't mean that is the only thing which you need to do. If you want to now upgrade from becoming a video editor to maybe a content creator, you need to have that learnings. So never estimate the power of knowledge, never estimate the power of learning. Yes, I do appreciate the skills. You need to be having a skill to fetch you money, to get you going inside your life. But again, as I said, you need to be very clear about learnings and the knowledge, because that is the backbone of your skill, right? So thank you so much. I hope this made sense to you. I'm open to take any question or the feedback. If you can put it in the comments, it will be highly appreciated. And I look forward to your feedback, so that I do come on a different topic again very soon. This is a live which I'm doing after some time, but I'll keep on doing things. I respect your time as well. I'm looking forward to your suggestions, your feedback, and let's meet another day. Bye bye. Take care.